How's it going, guys? Cody, we're back again. We're dropping yet another video. Right, guys. I did this video a few years ago again. I'm going to revisit it. Prison related, obviously. Freestyle video, just talking from my experiences. As you can see from the title, we are talking dirty protests when the shit really does hit the fan. Now, I've seen my fair share of dirty protests in prison. I understand why they happen, but and I support some prisoners do it because they're protesting, complaints been ignored, a kid once shitted up, as we call it, shitted up, because he wasn't allowed to go to a funeral of a loved one that had died. I completely get that, I get that, but I wouldn't cover myself in my own shit. I don't really, I understand why people do it, but I personally wouldn't do that in a protest. Especially when they leave you locked in that cell until they come and extract you from the Mufti squad. I've seen it where people have done it. The worst case that I've ever seen was at Forest Bank, right? And I think I was on induction wing. Induction wing at the time was G2. And what had happened was there was a prisoner that come in. Extremely, you could tell he was mentally ill. Just by being locked behind my door, I could tell he was mentally ill. The chanting, banging the fuck out of his cell door, just ramblings, the ramblings that he made that made no sense at all. And I remember, because I was a cleaner at the time, and I remember being unlocked for breakfast, and I've gone down to get my gran. A lot of the cleaners were asleep. Some of them were on the servery. Some had gone to early gym. The rest of the lads were still, the doors had been opened, but they were still asleep. So the rest of the prisoners are all locked up. I've gone down, I've got my brekkie, I've gone back. As I've done that, one of the nurses who come on, and she was checking people that came on the night before, checking blood pressure, things like that. So she come out of this cell and she looks like she's about to be sick. I said, "What's up?" I think she's called Chelsea. I said, "What's up, Chelsea?" She went, "Oh," she's like, "Oh." And I was on the twos and she was on the ones. And she said, "Just pure mental health," she said. And she explained that he'd shit into a bowl, scooped it up, right, and he'd slapped it onto his head and brushed his hair back with it, right. He then proceeded to use the rest of the bowl to decorate his face, right. Now, like I've said, when I first ever saw a dirty protest, I laughed and I was like, that's mad. That is just mad. The more I saw dirty protests, I actually looked, and when it was a protest and the prisoner was, I get it, I was like, okay. I personally wouldn't say that line, but I understand, right? Everyone's different. Prisoners writing help in the cell across the wall. I used to think it was funny, but then when I looked at the mental health side of things and I saw how bad a lot of these prisoners were mentally, not all of them, because some of them were very much with it. It was just that was their action, that was their revenge. That's what they was, covering themselves in their own shit, covering the cell, covering the flap, and that was their way of getting back at the system. Some people, it's just absolute mental health. And when you look at that and knowing what prison does to someone's mental health, if you've not already got mental health issues when you arrive at prison, you develop them in prison. I genuinely do believe that. Prison starts mental health issues if you haven't already got them already. And trust me, thousands and thousands of prisoners really, really do. I remember when they were just dirty protests, right? Now, as a cleaner, right, at Forest Bank, in certain prisons, I believe that prison cleaners go in and clean up a pad that's been shitted up. When I was at Forest Bank, we didn't. We didn't clean blood up and we didn't clean shit up. We cleaned everything else up. So what ended up happening is a prisoner was shitted up. They went in, they ripped him out. I put him in the segregation block, and then his cell was locked off. And then a guy turned up with a massive, like a tool chest thing, like the mechanics have, massive tool chest thing, like 6 foot tall by fucking, I don't know, like a foot wide or something. Right? And they rolled onto the wing, and they go into the cell and they spray it all down and use disinfectant and cleaners. And I believe they're on about £20 an hour, these guys. It's just unbelievable. And the smell as well, the smell lingers. other prisoners will look and they'll laugh and they'll make comments and everything. I remember being at Forest Bank and a guy shit up, and what he did, he was breaking his, right, in his cell, the glass flat was only like this, and what he did, he grabbed his chair or something and he smashed the glass out, right. I can't remember what he used. He used a weapon or tool or something. Anyway, he's broken the glass out. He was throwing shit onto the wands, right. So the cleaners were going sick at him because obviously I wasn't on the wands at this time. I'd moved to the showers. I think I was going onto the twos or the showers. So they were throwing shit onto the wands, right. So what the screws did, they went and got this. It's a big glass thing on legs, like and what they do, they push it right up to the flap, so that when he's throwing shit, it just hits this perplex screen and runs down rather than going onto the floor and stuff. I remember being at not at Forest Bank, at Strangeways. I was on Strangeways. I was on the induction wing, and this prisoner nearly got a kick in, right? Because what he did, he'd shitted up, but he'd started to launch turds, right, out of the window onto the yard. Now, they shouted up for exercise, right? So everyone's on the buzzer for exercise. Yeah, I want to go out and get my hour. At Strangeways, very simple. 22 to 23 hour a day lock up. Simple as that. Lock up and lots of it. So the lads are on the thing here. So we everyone gets ready to go and get their exercise. Just an excuse to get outside. We all get to the door. The screws open the door. About to start searching everyone as we go on the yard. And then he sees Mr. Hanky on the yard, a crap, a turd, whatever you want to call it. And he said, right, lads, he said, due to cell landing 3, cell whatever, he said, you're going straight back to your cells. We can't let you out on the yard. So we all went back. As we was going upstairs, people were running to his door, like threatening him and everything, because everyone knows he was on a dirty protest and everything like that, and he'd shit up and it stunk and everything. And because he'd thrown a turd onto the yard, it was deemed to be like off limits and stuff, and you can't let prisoners outside if there's turd on the yard. So that was it. So we didn't even get exercise. So yeah, people were fuming with him and everything like that. But yeah, like dirty protests are, I've seen it where screws have been targeted, been potted as it's called. It could be shit. It could be piss and shit. It could be swilled with just urine or napalm with hot water and sugar. But yeah, shit parcels as well. Shit into a newspaper, run up, rub it in someone's face, slap it on the back of the head, attack a screw, throw it from a distance, throw it into a pad. Dirty protests. But like I said, parcels just more of a revenge thing, innit? But yeah, dirty protests happen in prison more often than you think. They're horrible when they go down. If it's hot as well, I've never seen it in a double pad. They've always been single celled off, these kids. Always been single celled off, because if you're in a pad and your padmate starts to shit up, you're going to end up twatting him, or it's going to stink out your clothes, going to stink out your pad. But yeah, prisoners do it for many different reasons: mental health, protesting. But in my like I said, they're literally protesting or just mentally ill. Like I said, when you've got a prisoner defecating into a bowl, and using it to literally big handprint there, and he's gone and slid it all the way back through his head. Prison's bad as it is. Like I said, as men we do the whole macho thing, prison's easy and blah blah blah. Yeah, we can have a laugh in prison, but prison also fucks with you psychologically and emotionally. And dirty protest is part of prison life. Gonna leave it there, guys. Let me know what your stories are about dirty protests. Have you ever done one? Would you do one? What are your thoughts on them? Do you get why they happen? Do you not get why it happens? Let me know in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. Press the bell. If you press the bell on my channel, you'll get notified every time I drop a video or I go live. Cody out.